potatoes soaking right now.
Call in by clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma.
Yeah. Woo! Woke up with a vision, it's Professor Bear's day. Ruling the game, coming hard, paving his way. Thoughtful and smart, yeah, the wisdom of math. In a world full of shadows, he's breaking the cast.
What's going on? And thank you for joining me. I am Professor Nerd, and this is a Bear's Thought. And as you can see, I am not alone. This is something that I've been, good 3 weeks in the work, something like that. Mm-hmm. It's been all over the place. Got to head down to Texas and do some things. But today, I have some very special guests with me. So we're going to start off with my man who, honestly, let me be honest, that started me off and gave me names and where I got a lot of friendships and grown for me. This is from Wrestling from the 313. This is my man, Mike D. Mike, how are you doing?
Professor Bear, what up, though? What up, though, fellas? What's going on?
Yes, sir. And from the WrestleMania team, we got Benny Laurie and Jeff the Gentleman. How are you?
I don't know what the hell Jeff is doing right there. I think he's having a stroke trying to lift the shirt up. But doing well. How are you doing, Captain?
What
Look
the
at
rock?
Yeah, I feel it. And last but definitely not least, my man Sam. How are you doing today, sir?
Guys, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on with you guys. I'm looking forward to this. I always enjoy getting together with you guys. It's fun. It's just so much fun. Can we cuss on here?
Yeah, you good.
Man, it's so much fucking fun, guys. Love it. Love it.
I want to say for the record, it was him that said it, not me. So if anybody has a money pool, I know that I can do it. But I'm ready to get this Crash Derby started, man.
Let's do it.
Well, let's talk about it, then, gentlemen. With WrestleMania coming up in the next few weeks, and with me thinking, coming back from Texas on a plane where, if you can, they had me squished in the middle, couldn't move, and I'm in pain. This dumb thought came to me, man. With the WWE Hall of Fame, there are so many great people in it, but there's also a lot of people who should be in it, in my opinion. And I think that's the same with all of us. So I got to thinking, who is your top 5 people that should already be in the Hall of Fame? So we're going to start with my man, Mike D. Mike, go ahead and give us your top 5 and why you think they should be in there.
All right. So the fifth put the I'm gonna go 5 through 1. We doing 5 through 1 each, or
Yeah.
okay. So number 5, I think this person I got them in the celebrity wing. I'm surprised that they not in the Hall of Fame. They really did a lot for wrestling. They actually helped with the crossover from wrestling to music, and that person is Cyndi Lauper. There's no reason why she should not be in the Hall of Fame. Like Snoop is in the Hall of Fame. Muhammad Ali, Mr. T, you know what I'm saying? And she should be in there too. She was in also involved in one of the greatest women's matches of all time, Fabulous Moolah and Randy Richter. And they had the moment where they was dancing in the ring and, you know, after she won the title. So that's my number 5. Number 4, this is another person that I think should be in the Hall of Fame, and that's Miss Elizabeth. She's one of the greatest managers of all time. One of the greatest valets. It was like the first lady of wrestling. Any kid that was growing up, Miss Elizabeth was the first woman that they looked at and was probably like, damn, she look good. You know what I'm saying? So, and just, she did it with class, even though Macho Man used to like treat her like garbage, but you know, she still held her ground. Number 3, this tag team, I still don't understand it. And I think all of y'all would agree, Demolition should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. They were the longest reigning tag team before the New Day broke their record. So they definitely deserve a Hall of Fame honor. Number 2, I got this person is already in the Hall of Fame. She deserves to be in there as a solo star, and that's Chyna. Chyna did a lot for the women's division, and not just that, she wrestled with the men and became the Intercontinental Champion. So she definitely opened up a lot of doors, and it's just messed up that the stuff that she went through outside of WWE is holding her back from being in the Hall of Fame. And number 1, I got Batista. I know that he was supposed to be in the Hall of Fame a few years ago, and they still haven't really did anything with it. But I think he deserves his due also.
Okay. Guys, what do you think about Mike D's list?
I had to cross off 3 of them on mine. Thanks, Mike. Good job. And he was spot on with Cyndi Lauper. I don't remember much of 80s wrestling, but I know that if it wasn't for Cyndi Lauper, I know that WrestleMania probably would have been lackluster, for lack of better words, from the casual wrestling fan standpoint. The rock and roller coaster wrestling experience on MTV, when MTV first came out, was a big thing, and nobody else was doing, not even close to what WWE was doing regarding numbers. It helped. I think it actually, if correct me if I'm wrong, I think it opened the door for Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It definitely did.
So I mean, she definitely paved the way. For peeps' sakes, if Drew Carey's on the freaking list, why can't Cyndi Lauper be on there?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Agreed.
definitely. It's amazing when you sit and listen to people tell you, and like I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, you joking? Damn, Cyndi ain't in there. And I actually went through the entire list, and it never dawned on me Cyndi wasn't in it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I had to Google it. I literally had to Google it like a couple days ago, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, this is highway robbery at its finest.
Yeah, that is. And also, you can also kind of admit, too, she did help establish the name of Hulk Hogan in the 80s as well,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
She helped.
And she used to have Captain Lou in her videos.
Yes.
So that gave him, that kind of gave WWF exposure also.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
very true.
between Cindy and Mr. T, they gave them so much in the 80s getting into WrestleMania. I mean, everyone talks about Hogan and WrestleMania. I almost personally feel, guys, that Mr. T had a bigger impact on how many people showed up to that show and bought that show and watched that show. It wasn't because of Hogan, it was because of the name of Mr. T, the things
Yep.
that he was doing at the time with the A team and all that. I mean, you want to talk? Okay, so for myself, not to date myself, but I was a kid. I was legit, kayfabe kid. I still thought wrestling was real when all this shit was going down, right? So I got to see it. Like I got to see Cindy Lauper, Captain Lou get smashed in the head in the ring by Piper. Like that was actual program we got to see of superstars. With Mr. T, all the training segments and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, T's in there, but yeah, Cindy should definitely be in there.
Absolutely. Also, another thing too that switching gears a little bit, he mentioned China should be a Hall of Fame. That's almost guaranteed because what people don't seem to remember was the fact that the matches that she had in those 90s with the likes of Jeff Jarrett, Chris Jericho, and that people don't realize that was huge, and I mean huge in in the late 90s, in the Attitude Era, and then winning the Intercontinental Championship. Like people don't realize this, but if it wasn't her, there wouldn't be no Tessa Blanchard and what she did against against
Sammy Callahan.
so Sammy Callahan. There would not be no There would not be no Tessa Blanchard against Sammy Callahan. Like she set the bar, she set the standard, she made history. If it was China made history, and hell, there wouldn't be no Nia Jax for that short stint in the men's Royal Rumble if it wasn't for China. Like she set so many bars and so many history. If it wasn't for her, so she absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame as well. And it blows, and it's a absolute disrespect and slap in the face.
I mean, you think about slap in the face. You got to talk about Elizabeth too. I mean, for peeps' sakes, that's somebody that should have been like an automatic. But I guess the China thing, you kind of can understand why she's not single-handedly in the Hall of Fame because of the controversy outside of the ring after she left WWE with the drug addiction and also with the adult film industry that she was involved with. And I think there was a lot of controversy because at the time when Vince was in charge with Stephanie and everything else, and there are rumors or whatever, lack thereof. But granted, it's the same thing as with Pete Rose. Pete Rose was a phenomenal baseball player, and Pete Rose is still not in the Hall of Fame. And granted, he had controversy around him, but you can't argue greatness, and he was one of the best to ever play the game. But yet, because of the controversy around him, he's still not in there, and I think that's the same thing with China. Elizabeth, on the other hand, I know that there's a situation with the Hogan and Macho Man situation that happened, but there wasn't really much controversy with her. And
Not to interrupt you, but if you're going to hold China in that same spot because of her thing, you got to look at Miss Elizabeth and how she passed away,
right,
and the drug use too. So I even though I get it, like you said, and like Mike D said, there shouldn't been no reason why she shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
No, but my point that I was trying to get at there was that I think everybody has personal luggage. Everybody has their own crap that they're dealing with. Everybody has good days, everybody has bad days, but everybody also has personal skeletons in their closet that they've had in the past they've been dealing with or used to happen, and it doesn't mean that they're the same person that they are now, whether alive or dead. My point that I'm trying to get at is I think for the most part, WWE is trying to get away from the controversial side of that. And I think only because of the fact that she was involved in a very well-known faction, that's the reason why, she was in with a group. But granted, she should be in, and so should Elizabeth.
I'll say this real quick. if they with all the controversy that Sonny has had, Sonny killed somebody. It should be no reason why China and Miss Elizabeth shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, Lawrence Taylor, one of the very well-known, famous NFL rushers that played for the New York Giants, used to send hookers and prostitutes and drugs to the visiting team before they played them the following day. So, I mean, if he's in the Hall of Fame and he had all of his stuff that he went through, I mean, Pete Rose, I'm just using sports references to say the controversial side of the person themselves, not necessarily the character or who they played, then, I think at the end of the day, the bottom line is this, and we can go on a tandem and all this different stuff. I don't want to hold the show up, but I think at the end of the day, the people that made the most noise, that elevated wrestling to greater heights, the people that brought fans and interest, whether from a casual or from a hardcore side, those people should be in the Hall of Fame. And I think this is what entitles this list. And everybody on your list, Mike, was well input and well received, because I don't think anybody here disagrees with anything you had on that list.
Mm-hmm. But I think there's other seats. I think there's other seats should add to there. Like, now, this may be controversial because he's technically with another company, but I don't think it belongs. The likes of Chris Jericho. I think Chris Jericho should have been on that list. I think Chris Jericho should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he should have been in there. Now, I know because he's with AEW as the Nueve, which is the stupidest thing I can think of. But considering everything he's done with WWE, from being Y2J, from being the Honest Man, and creating, in my opinion, one of the greatest gimmicks I ever witnessed in my entire time, the Book of Jericho, and just being all these years, just being constant, just consistent entertainer in all WWE and all the accolades and things he has done. I think he should have been a Hall of Famer at WWE. That's my personal opinion.
I was gonna say, since you're, why don't you go ahead and give us your top five? Since
okay, I personally feel Rikishi should be a personal top five.
Could you say that one more time? You kind of broke up.
I said Rikishi.
Oh, okay.
Rikishi should have been the top five, in my opinion.
Isn't he in there?
Rikishi's in there.
Oh, he is in there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tripping. My apologies. Let's see.
That shirt, man. That shirt's holding your brain down, bro.
I have to agree with Demolition, holding the longest reigning tag team title reign in history before not just New Day, but if I recall, the Usos took the reign as well. Let's see. I had this list as well, but I believe if memory serves me correct, the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman.
Yeah, he's not in.
I believe he should be in there as well. This may sound controversial because of one particular person that was in there. How about the Radicals? I believe the Radicals at number 3. Even for the now, even though one particular person isn't one particular person, because it's controversial history, and I mean very controversial. Like I said, number 2, Chris Jericho. Because of his even though he's currently with AEW, I believe in that. And also number 1, I do have to agree with China. I do agree with China, number 1.
Okay. Guys, what do you think about Jeff's list?
Well, I was gonna ask, isn't Demolition inducted into the Hall of Fame like for this year's class, or that's not
Who's that?
yet?
You broke up.
Not Demolition. It's the natural disaster.
Natural
disasters. I'm sorry, but wasn't it rumored that they were supposed to be inducted this year too?
Yeah, they actually signed Legends deal.
Yeah, they signed the Legends
There you
deal.
go. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah.
No, because the rumor was once they signed it, I saw it all over saying they were going in, which most people thought that was the reason why they signed the Legends deal, so they could get into the Hall of Fame. but surprisingly, they didn't. And like I'm assuming all of y'all that Demolition. Most people think of Demolition as the knockoff Road Warriors. If you were a big wrestling fan, knew different wrestling companies, but Demolition made a name for themselves that honestly cannot be forgotten. They dominated tag teams in the 80s. And I mean, we had the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs, Strike Force, the Killer Bees. I could go on and on, but Demolition sat on top for quite a while. And
How can
I
you
think
be
it's
labeled as a knockoff tag team someone you held the longest rated tag team in the company for almost 20 something years?
Yeah, that's true. And since a lot of people feel like since Vince couldn't get the Road Warriors, he made the Road Warriors in Demolition. And then when they finally came up, man, they just I'm just gonna say Vince is like, fuck you to Demolition. I got the originals, I got the more popular. I don't do anymore.
That sounds like
Yeah. Sorry, I always saw the Powers of Pain being more of the Road Warriors rip off of the WWE.
Yeah, they did look like them.
They were more to me, anyways. They looked Barbarian and the other dude, Warlord. Though even their hairstyle was more.
But see, the funny thing about
when I looked at Demolition, I just thought they came out of some like what's that kind of where they were the Mad Max.
I was gonna say a gimp suit, but I'm gonna leave that one alone.
No, that's where I was going with it. They look like they just came out one of those BDMS kind of porno.
Well, the funny thing about
shit and the masks.
The funny thing about the Powers of Pain, they started off in the NWA wrestling the Road Warriors.
Right.
So, I can understand why you feel that way, and some people do. I guess I always looked at the Road Warriors as they were the originals, and everything else were a copy of them. Trying to get that same buzz.
Beautiful. Love the Road Warriors.
Yeah. I definitely felt like and I do feel like Jeff has a great point with Jericho. I think Jericho will go in there whenever he's available.
Yeah.
And it's just right now. And then honestly, even with AEW and WWE going back and forth on things, they do have sometimes where they will work together. And Tony is one interesting person because he doesn't mind people that he has in his company getting flowers from WWE. He usually works well with them.
I was going to ask quickly, aren't they working on negotiations for Sting to be a part of Lex Luthor's induction this year?
I believe so. I heard that. Nothing's come out recently, but apparently they're working on something to get Sting in there for Lex.
And you got to remember too, when DX got inducted to the Hall of Fame, Billy Gunn was in AEW.
Yes, very good point.
But keep in mind, fellas, the relationship has changed dramatically since the last time they had one of those kind of crossover things.
Yes.
I don't know. Think about it. Jericho was on Austin's podcast.
Yes, sure was. Right? And that's the thing that I think about is that they can put aside differences for the betterment of people, because it's been done. You've seen I can't remember what thing they had, and you saw a bunch of AEW talent on WWE giving their point of view. it wouldn't shock me that it would happen, and I would like for them to keep doing that as far as just giving people their just due and work through the business part of it.
Was it for Bray Wyatt? I believe,
Yeah, I think so.
right?
I think so.
Wasn't Jericho on a special episode of Monday Night Raw?
No, he was on
No, he was on Stone Cold's podcast.
Yes.
No, but Monday Night Raw had a special, like one of those like 1,000 episodes or something like that. And
I think
Oh
so.
yeah. He was.
Like
You're
he was
right.
backstage doing the listing, and he was just a gimmick for like 2 seconds or something like that.
Probably.
I think I think I know what you're talking about.
And then also, I believe they did a celebration for Randy Orton a couple years back, and they did a video package, and he was one of the guys that hopped on, or it was
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson, one of the two.
Oh, it was both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah. Mhm.
Both.
So yeah, I mean, hey, that's the thing. The positive thing about wrestling today is they are willing to work with each other. They kind of put the BS aside and try to let the fans enjoy and let whoever get their just due flowers.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Sam, why don't you go ahead and give us your top 5 list? And
Yeah,
Benny, Benny, I'm holding you last for a reason. So
No, I figured you were going to go there.
All right. So
I know you're doing a DEI thing with me, but it's okay. I forgive you.
all right.
I'm
Okay,
literally,
so-
I was going to say this real quick. I'm literally crossing out everybody that said something. At least 1 or 2 or 3 people on my list I've had to cross out. And I can't think of the people on there.
So that being said, Benny, since we've started, I have basically amended my list as we've gone along here.
okay.
Because just more and more names have been coming up and I've, whatnot. But first off, I'm going to just talk about Miss Liz very quickly. Yes, she should be in there. If you're going to put Lex in there and she died in his pool, right? Then,
Yep.
I
Very
mean,
good.
that's just for me. She's the original lady of wrestling. And again, I talked about being a kid at that time. I remember specifically that Saturday afternoon when all the managers were lined up and Macho Man was standing in the ring and they announced it and she came through that door and I'm like, oh my God, who's this? Because, really there's never been anyone like her before. So, so Liz for sure. But here's my list, man. And this is no particular order or anything. For me, Ken Shamrock has to be in there. Why isn't Ken Shamrock? Why isn't Ken Shamrock not in the Hall of Fame? You think about all the MMA guys that they've had come in and out: Dan Severn, Tank Abbott. Shamrock was the one who took it like fish to water. He was an amazing talent. Some of the best matches with The Rock. Just the guy should definitely be in there. I don't know why he's not. For me, Honky Tonk Man, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time.
That's another good one.
Right? Honky should be in there. But now,
There goes my list.
to be fair, Honky has turned it down a few times.
Yeah.
They've tried to put him in, and he said, "No, I'm busy." Right? He had independent dates. He couldn't do it. So shame on Honky if they don't want him now. Fair?
Right.
I mean, they've tried. Okay. For me, another guy, if they're gonna have a jobber wing, the Brooklyn Brawler needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Probably the greatest.
This guy,
ever.
the Brooklyn Brawler, should be responsible for putting over more big names and building up more big names off his back than anybody else. Him and Barrio.
Oh my God.
Him and Barrio are the two guys that should be in there the most. All right.
Well, and quick, let me say this. If y'all don't know who Barrio is, he is the uncle of Randy Orton. That was Bob Orton's brother.
Yeah.
See, I did not know that.
I know that.
Yeah. All right. Haku.
Oh,
Why isn't Haku? Why isn't King Haku?
Oh, my list.
Now, with all the stuff going on with The Rock and the Bloodline and all this stuff, wouldn't it make sense to put him in?
Yes,
Yeah,
it would.
it would be.
Right.
It would be.
Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? Now, last but not least, this is a personal endeavor of mine because I know his daughter, well, not very well, but we go back and forth. Bad News Brown.
Oh
Or
man.
Allen. Okay, where is he? Why isn't
I got
Bad News in
You
the
know,
Hall of
Preston,
Fame?
I gotta give you credit, man. You
Are
got-
we
you got one hell of a
twins,
list.
dude? Because literally, that was like 60
This is
You
why
got
I'm called
one hell of a
Samson.
Porno, man.
Okay, so
So-
and here's some honorable mentions because they own all of WCW and all
Why
this
don't we
stuff.
on the
But
honorable mentions before I get my list out, please?
I guarantee you don't have these guys. If you do, I apologize, brother. But I'm going to throw in Rodman and Carl Malone.
I can dig that.
No, I don't have
Yeah.
see,
Celebrity wing. Yeah.
I can.
In
I
the celebrity wing.
Yeah.
This
I,
would
I
have
can
been
dig that.
I can feel more Dennis Rodman because he made more impact with the NWO. But
Well,
Karl
that's-
Malone, he only
Well, I
made
mean,
impact one. for
I'm
one
only
show.
throwing him in there just for shits and giggles, but basically that's kind of what I'm looking at here, man. So for me, Bad News, Haku, the Brooklyn Brawler, Honky Tonk Man, and Ken Shamrock.
I gotta give you props for that one. That's a hell of a list, man. That's a
Yeah.
hell of a
Yeah, it
That is
really
hell
That
of
was
is.
a good list.
I'm look,
I just-
I didn't put-
Thank you,
I
thank you
didn't-
for spying on my camera. Appreciate it.
I was about to say
I just put Terrace on all y'all.
We're
I
gonna build a
didn't-
wall, and it's gonna be huge. And also there has
Can
been
you
the
stop
Hulk Hogan.
crying and just give your list?
I did not plan this. This is all live, but I've never seen, and I've done many shows with Benny. I've never seen him melt down so much.
I'm literally doing this right now.
I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. We just met too.
I just got into a cipher with Eminem in his prime. That's pretty much what happened right now.
Well, so let me ask you this, Benny. Do you want to go now, or do you need me to go so you got some
I mean,
time?
you're hosting the show. It's your choice.
Hey,
No.
hey, real quick.
Yes.
because I'm about to go because I gotta go real quick. But can I
Okay.
ask y'all a quick question, real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question, real quick. Did y'all watch Monday Night Raw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the infamous promo?
Yeah.
Which one?
Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh,
I
I build the empires for billionaires, and you take money from their sons.
That's all I wanted to know. So I just want to ask y'all real quick. I just want
Wasn't that AEW heavy?
Yes, it
it
was.
was very AEW.
Yeah.
heavy. I just want to
Very quickly before you go, I have a question for you guys. Then, if I may, the way Cena's going forward with this whole "I'm going to take the belt and I'm going to take it home," isn't it very John Moxley like what he's doing?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. It's
Okay,
very
that's how I put it.
But
That's
I
how
just
I wanna-
I feel it's more Skeletor, but we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah, it is very Skeletor. But I'm gonna ask y'all real quick. Who you think came out on top of that promo? Because
Cody, sorry, we finally are starting to see Cena settle in his role.
see, I think both sides came out on top. I really think both sides did. Because
I would
so, too.
agree with you until that last line that Cena dropped, what I just repeated. When he
Funny,
dropped that line, that was it. That was like, okay,
See,
here we go.
I think so too. But when Cody basically came out with two things. The one where he basically said, resembles you know who, but we don't talk about that anymore. I was dying laughing. And
I'll just
also-
say this. I'll just say this. The crowd hated Cena, but at the end they loved him.
That
So I
true
think
that.
That
True
goes
that.
to show you
True that. That tells you everything about that as well.
Now, both men did a great job. Both men did a phenomenal job. But this was definitely Cena ended with a knockout punch.
Yeah.
I would say this
Yeah.
from the first face to face to the last one. I thought the biggest mistake that they did was let Cody come out like it was nothing. He's smiling, high-fiving, laughing. You just got taken over. He kicked you. He didn't kick you. He punched your balls into the upper place, beat you down, and then you coming out smiling before, and even before the promo when I think it was The Miz, he came out serious against The Miz.
Why
Then
did
you
he
come
come
out
out there?
laughing and jokey and happy. It's bullshit, to be honest with y'all.
Yeah, because I was
Because-
and I was thinking the same thing.
I have a feeling what we're gonna get here in this particular match is Rock Hogan, where by the end of the match everyone was cheering for Hogan. In this case, it'll be Cena, and the whole stadium will be against Cody.
Yeah, I think so,
I see
too.
that too. I see
Right.
I think
that.
so. I think we're gonna get a double switch by the end of this match. Everyone's gonna be for Cena. Everyone's gonna be against Cody by the end of this battle.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree completely, and it makes sense.
And here's the thing to me, they have kind of destroyed that. Because where's the Rock in all this?
That-
You totally forgot about the Rock. They hadn't mentioned him once, and it's like, what the? Y'all going in a whole different direction that doesn't make sense of where you started from.
No, I agree.
And you know what? I'm glad he's not there. I'm glad he's not there because it's allowing everything to grow organically. You throw the Rock into the shows these days, everything gets fucked up.
And
No,
it takes value away from the match itself.
No,
because
and I agree with both of y'all on that
versus
point.
Cody and Cena, and that kind of takes value away from that. So he's right. He is right. But I like where this is going because it adds more intrigue to that. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like someone I had a conversation with. 41 needed some pizzazz and some flame to this, and it's kind of been lacking something. And this past Monday,
Be right back.
added some flame. There was some much needed flames for two particular things, but for that match, and most definitely, Jey Uso and Gunther, because good lord, that match definitely needed something. Because
It definitely needed something, but I don't think this is it. I think it did more harm to Big Jim than anything, because Big Jim he's barely winning any matches, and then you're gonna take him and make him the weaker brother, which most people look at him as a weaker brother anyway.
he already was, and that just made it worse. But
Yeah, and to me, it made me really not care about it even more.
and one last question before I go: do we really want Jey Uso to win this title?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got two. Benny?
All right, well, let's paraphrase this. Who in this panel was the one that predicted main event Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble?
You did.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Benny. You definitely did.
So you predicted it, but what about him winning the title?
I just said I predicted it. Don't throw me under the
So we got. So then it's 4 because I don't want Jey Uso to win.
Later, y'all. I'm out of here.
All right, take it easy.
Take care, Rock.
All right.
So now let's get back on topic. So Benny, you ready to do this, man?
Let's do power, paper, scissors to see who goes. How about that? Because I feel you and I are of kinship, where you and I pretty much are going to probably say the same people.
Okay, so then go ahead. Then I want you to go first because I don't want to take any heat away from you.
I currently have 30 people on my list, and now I'm literally down by process of elimination 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 8 more people. All right.
Well, and here's the thing before you get started.
I feel bad. I made my list like 5 minutes before.
And see, that's the thing. People think alike. And so there's nothing wrong with having the same people on your list.
That means we're all great minds.
Exactly.
We all think alike.
So, all right, Benny, go ahead and hit me with them.
All right, you ready to cross up some stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. Number one is Alabama. No, I think I'm gonna be very unique with my list because I'll be honest with you. I feel like there are obvious people that want people on this list, like, The Rock, would be one of the guys that everybody wants on their list because, of course, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but he's still wrestling. He's still part of WWE. It's kind of like the situation with Vince, when before all the crap, before he put his penis in everybody else's vagina. That's, the controversial things, all these different things. So I'm going to give an honorable mention. I'm going to get it out of the way. I think that it's only right that they are mentioned on it. I didn't say they deserve it. That's why I said honorable mention. Chris Benoit. With the really disgusting jackass thing that he did to his family. Putting that aside, he does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But on his accolades and what he did in the ring, I think he did nothing more than to be a first balloter. But because of what happened, he shouldn't be on there. Obviously, Owen Hart should be somebody that should be on this list as an honorable mention. Unfortunately, because of the controversy in his death and the lawsuit with WWE, obviously his wife doesn't want him to be on there. His widowed wife doesn't want him to be on there. That's not going to happen. I'm gonna start off with WWE referee Charles Robinson.
You know what? That is a hell of a call.
I think that he can run 100 miles an hour, and we can make memes out of him running to the ring with his hair flowing in the air, which obviously I'm very jealous of because I don't have any of that crap. I think we all agree we're follically challenged. LeBron James can deny it, but we all have issues with our hair. Listen, you got enough tariffs on me already. Leave my hair alone, sir. I think he, just like Brian Hebner, is one of the most legendary referees of the last 20 years. He's been in the industry a lot longer than that. I think he's done a phenomenal job. Look, he crossed off somebody off his list. Somebody else that should be on this list, and I think deservingly so, Michael Cole. I think Michael Cole has proven his worth. That stupid moment where they had him wrestling in the ring was one of the dumbest things they ever did, but you put that aside. This man has been in this business for over 40 plus years, has been bleeding WWE to the day he dies. He's one of the most respected announcers. I think he's gotten a whole hell of a lot better recently in the last 4 or 5 years. And I think we questioned when he was the lead announcer for WWE in the very, very beginning when JR left. And you had Jerry the King Lawler that was there, but he's done a phenomenal job. He should definitely be inducted. Coco Beware should be on.
He is in.
Not him, just his birds. No, Coco Beware on this list. I think that you're gonna have.
Hold on. Coco is he's a Hall of Famer. I've seen his ring.
Yeah, Coco's in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, well then I'll see myself off. Good night, everybody. His birds should be on the list. All right. See, I told you, man. There's too many people on here, man. Well, I'll replace it with Professor Bear forgiving Hulk Hogan. Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, it's not Professor Bear. It's everybody.
Everybody that's Latino and Black, bro. Trust me, I understand. I would definitely say Brian Pillman should be on this list. He should be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That Pillman with what he did, even in WCW, should bring merit on that. Psycho Sid should be on this list.
Sid is.
He definitely needs to be on this list.
No, Psycho Sid is a Hall of Famer.
I thought. I'm off today, man. I apologize, man. I'm having a really shitty day today, to say the least. But the one guy I should say that should be on this list more than anybody else should be Bray. I think that his creative mind, what he brought to the ring, what he brought outside of the ring, the way he presented himself, which was Undertaker-like. And I know that they had a spat in the past where they released him, but he had the same kind of popularity as CM Punk. That when they started the White Rabbit stuff, you know, the stuff that they were doing in the ring that we would see on X or we would see on YouTube shorts or anything like that, people automatically knew, okay, yeah, it's him. And I'm telling you, man, the mystique, I thought that nobody would bring the same mystique as Undertaker. And brought it. And it sucks to see him gone, but he deserves. I know they kind of paid homage to him last year with his dad, but they really need to put him in the Hall of Fame. He needs to be on there. As a matter of fact, I will go one step further. They need to have a statue of him at WWE headquarters.
Agreed.
Because I've never seen somebody, or I don't know if you guys feel the same way, and I've never seen somebody so creative.
Yeah.
So willing to help everybody out.
Man.
And you never heard one bad thing about Bray Wyatt.
No.
Well, yeah. Well, one, I did. And this is the way he did his wife and got the girl pregnant. But as far as wrestling concerns, I agree with you. You didn't hear anything about him and how respectful he was. And you think about his legacy, because not only is he the son of Mike Rotundo, his uncle is Barry Windham, the Windham name. I mean, and you know how close they are with the Rhodes, you know. So yeah, definitely I understand that. Shout out to Bray. I think it'll be a year. Go ahead.
One more. Since I made a lot of honorable mentions that people were in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I'm a jackass, and I apologize. Brody Lee.
Yeah.
I think that if he hadn't passed away too soon, and you look at what he did in WWE towards the end of his mark, that build that he had, as a single superstar, when he went to AEW, he recreated himself. And I know it was a meme strat where he was pretty much mocking Vince McMahon and how he portrayed him, but he elevated AEW to new heights. And people still talk about him to this day in that company. And I'd be honest with you, if he was alive, I think that he should, man. I don't know, man. I just, it's tough. You know, I know that people die and it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of like, you know, when Heath Ledger passed away and he played Joker in The Dark Knight, and everybody, he was up for an Oscar, and everybody was like, oh, he deserves it. He deserves it. You're kind of like being in the moment, if you will. But Brody Lee was a really good wrestler. He was a solid dude behind the scenes. People loved him. People respected him. And I would say Bray as well, man. I know that the wife thing, you know, kind of put that away. But yeah, that's my list. But yeah, you forgiving Hulk Hogan would be also number one on my Hall of Fame.
If I may say something, Benny, I loved your list, man. When you talked about Little Nick getting into the Hall of Fame, I had an epiphany. You know who else should be in there? Danny Davis, if that's the case.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the original Nick Patrick. I mean, before him, right? Before him, I mean, no referees really had no role. Danny Davis was the first referee.
How many referees? How many referees are in the Hall of Fame right now? It's probably a handful, right?
Yeah. Well, not the main ones. I know they had put some in under
celebrity wing.
Yeah, well, not the celebrity, but the
heritage,
whatever, something like that. They're not in the main. Yeah, they're not in the main wing, because I've seen some of the women wrestlers they put in, some of the male wrestlers. So I would say it like this, that they should do better with people they induct and how they induct them.
We should do better with the Hall of Fame as a whole, man.
Yes.
Well, there's only currently 2 referees.
Who?
I believe I don't know. I'm just reading this off the internet.
Please.
So you correct me if I'm wrong. Tim White.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And he got inducted on I don't know what year. Didn't Earl Hebner get inducted?
Yes, I think he did too.
Only 2. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're thinking about it, then we got to have Joey Morella in there too,
Yeah.
right?
Hey,
Gorilla's son.
Teddy Long was a ref before he
Yes,
became
he
the GM.
was.
Yeah, but he is in the Hall of
I
Fame.
forgot about that player. Undertaker and 3 other people, man.
Right?
Nigel still has the best stance.
Love it. Love it. So I'm going to give you my list. Now, I'm going to be surprised. I'm surprised that some of these names didn't come up earlier. And I guess the reason being because a lot of them, almost a bunch of them wasn't in the WWE, but that hadn't stopped them from putting people in the Hall of Fame, like Abdullah Butcher as example.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start with honorable mention. And it's kind of crappy that they don't have him in the Hall of Fame because he did something that nobody else did. Or one of 2 people did. Ivan Koloff should be in the damn Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because he beat Bruno Sammartino for the WWF title. He stopped his first run. And everything he did with in the NWA with the Ivan Nikita Khrushchev, Ivan Koloff should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. That's an honorable mention. Now, we're going to get to a person who is close in the area to me. I met, had a great conversation with, helped most of the wrestlers that are in the WWE today and AEW, helped get them in, train them, and gave them the mindset to get their glory as a wrestler. That is Dr. Tom Pritchard. How in the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame? He had a great,
very good point, man.
He had a great wrestling career. And the training he's done for a lot of wrestlers that are presently in there today is just, I'm amazed they would not give Dr. Tom his flowers.
Yeah, he and Kane have a school together, correct?
It's like 30, 35 miles away from me. And, you know, like I said, he's just such a great part of WWE as a wrestler, behind the scenes, training. Man. All right. So the next person, how in the world is Kevin Sullivan not in the WWE Hall of Fame? Kevin Sullivan helped produce so many different things in WCW. And again, I get that he wrestled like a half a second in WWE, but his creativity helped build wrestling to where it is today.
Yeah, I agree.
And they do not give Kevin Sullivan enough love for what he's done for wrestling. It's crazy to me. The next person, and this is going to be a good controversial one. Why do they not have Jim Crockett in the WWE Hall of Fame? Now, if you don't know, Jim Crockett was the promoter of the NWA in the early 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Jim Crockett,
Crockett Cup.
the Crockett Cup, thank you. He ran against WWEF. It wouldn't be Dusty. It wouldn't be the Horseman. It wouldn't be the boom that the NWA had in the mid and late 90s if it wasn't for Jim Crockett Promotions. And again, I get that he was a competitor, but you got the AWAs in there. You have you got a world class in there.
Yeah. Eric's
you got
in there.
Hey, you got Paulie in there. Why not Jim Crockett? Because if it wasn't for Jim Crockett and the way that they went back and forth, wrestling wouldn't be where it is. Yes, everybody wants to credit Vince and everything, but he had a rival. And to tell you this much, that Jim Crockett doesn't get credit for coming with the first pay-per-view. It wasn't Vince.
Yeah.
It was Jim Crockett.
Yeah.
Promotions.
I think the reason is, Bear, if I may very quickly, is because he was compliant till the very end. All the other names that you mentioned eventually ended up on the program somewhere, somehow, right? Under Vince. Right. Eric did. Who would have ever thought Eric Bischoff would have showed up in WWE, considering everything they just went through? Paul Heyman, still there, right? I mean, Vern Gagne, cup of tea, but he was there very quickly. Crockett was the only guy who didn't sell out and never, ever appeared on any of their programming.
And I agree with that, and I understand that. But if you didn't have the competition,
right,
to go and again, like I said, to me, this is just me being me.
Yeah.
If you don't have that competition, where would you be? Because we seen WWE with no competition, and how crappy that we almost give up on wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, wrestling was
true.
Yeah.
So now I got two more. One, he passed away, and again he falls under the Crockett thing. But Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wants to talk about how great Paulie is, and rightfully so. But before him and Paulie used to be just like this, thick as thieves. They managed promotions together. He actually helped with ECW before his tragic passing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't give Eddie his props. It's amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last one, I started to do them separately, but I think they go together. How in the hell do you got the Rock and Roll Express in the Hall of Fame and don't have the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette?
Come on now.
Come on.
Which one though? Which rendition?
And honestly, I think anyone that had a part with Jim Cornette. So the Bobby Eaton, I think Eaton, Condrey, and Lane, all three should be inducted in the Hall of Fame with Jim Cornette. How in the hell do you not have Jim Cornette in the Hall of Fame?
Because, man, he keeps talking shit all the time.
That's why you put him in there, because he had the balls to say what he feels.
But he's still saying what he feels. That's probably why he's there.
But the thing is, look at some of the people they've let back in there that you never thought. Bruno Sammartino had the biggest problem with Vince. And guess what? Triple H got him in there, didn't he? He talked Vince back into it. There are certain people that really deserves honor for what they did for wrestling. Jim Cornette, whether you like Jim, you don't, whether you listen to his podcast or you don't, whether you like him or you don't, Jim Cornette is a part of wrestling history. And it's a shame that a lot of times they wait until after someone passed to give them their flowers. Jim Cornette deserves it.
Just thinking about it, man, all these memories are flooding back. The scaffolding match, Midnight Express against the Road Warriors, with fucking Cornette hanging off the scaffolding. Like, just yes.
I was gonna say, if they induct Jim Cornette, they have to make Vince Russo do his introduction. That's all I have to say. That should be a wrestling match. Jim Cornette.
I think they would
how many ribs you will break in your body.
I was about to say they would break out on the stage fighting.
That would be the guy that tried to tackle Bret Hart at the induction ceremony. Wait, sorry, too soon?
What about Jerry Jarrett then? If we're talking along those lines, Jerry Jarrett should be in there too.
Exactly.
What was his chicken salad recipe? I would love it.
Yeah, Memphis. Go ahead, Mike.
It's one wrestler that I thought about, and I don't think he's in. Rick Martel.
Yes,
yeah,
I got him on my list.
Yeah,
I got him on my list. Because they had some problems. Let me name a couple of people they don't have in, and it's going to blow your minds, I think. Larry Sabisco is not part of. No, he's not.
I thought he got inducted. He was at the Hall of Fame. Are you sure?
I went through it. I could be wrong because I went through all of it.
I'm just going to check it. I'm not doubting you, brother, but I really believe that. I thought he got inducted. He wore a white tuxedo. He was drunk. I remember.
He may have, and I missed him.
He's not drunk.
So if somebody want to look it up, Shane Douglas.
Yeah.
And we know why Shane ain't in there because of his beefs with the clique. But let's just call a spade a spade. Shane did so much.
He got inducted in 2015.
Okay, I missed that one. See, Laura, you ain't the only one. See?
Zbyszko was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame March 28th, 2015 by Bruno. Bruno inducted him.
I want to find an apology from you for saying that I had too many people on my list that were inducted. Go ahead and apologize, sir. Enjoy your age. Thank you. I passed my time. Thank you.
Look, why had Raven been inducted?
Yes.
I mean,
I agree.
All the different things that, and before Raven, he was the managers of the Quebecers when
Johnny
they won
Polo.
the tag title. Yeah, Johnny Polo. See, he should be inducted.
I just thought of 3 more people too.
Okay, let me finish mine and I'll let you go.
First, go ahead.
What about Tommy Rich? Tommy Rich he was so popular in the South. He was an NWA World Heavyweight Champion, even though it was like a week or 2, but he was a champion. Okay, you already, Mike said it with Rick Martel. What about Ronnie, the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin?
Yeah.
It blows my mind. What about Ultimo Dragon? The man that the original belt collector walked around, had 10 titles at one time.
That was actually somebody I was just about to mention right now. From the Latino side, bro, I can tell you, ya tu sabe, bro. If Rey Mysterio is on there, bro, hermano, I'm telling you, man, he needs to be on there as well.
What about Bam Bam Bigelow? Bam Bam, come on. Bam Bam should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's not in there?
No.
Dude, I thought that was a given. I didn't even think about that one.
And and Benny said this one, AJ Styles. You got the phenomenal freaking AJ Styles. And I don't want to hear the crap is, well, he's still wrestling where Rey Mysterio is, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So why did you do the same?
Actually, correction. I didn't say AJ Styles. That was Jeff that said it.
Okay. So Jeff,
I didn't want to be the white man or the Latino man stealing the black man's crust.
AJ Styles. So that, and it's amazing, all these different names and people who actually did so much. And then no disrespect to Luger, to the Natural Disasters and Triple H and Michelle, but
Michelle McCool.
yeah. But here's the thing: you still have some good quality people, and then you're gonna go ahead. Well, we're gonna throw in a match. I love Brett and I love Stone Cold, but they've already been inducted. Why do we need the match inducted? We have so many people who haven't been inducted.
What they're
in the
doing,
Hall of Fame.
Professor, guys, here's the thing. I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I've said this on these roundtables before.
You feel me, Mike, right?
It's too expensive, people. Everything. This is the problem with this whole WrestleMania week. Everything is just so effing expensive that nobody has money left to buy a ticket to the Hall of Fame.
No, I agree.
It's not a question of the quality of the people going in. I still like the class per se, but no one can afford to go.
No, I agree with you that they're expensive and everything, but they need to. Well, and see, we don't. And here's another thing.
It's expensive, man. That's what I see.
I'm gonna throw my hat in there for a second. First of all, I feel like you just said what you just said. I have two things I want to say. First thing I want to say, what you just said about them having a match in the Hall of Fame ceremony was the equivalent of going to see a Crash Derby and then popping an episode of Cocomelon at the same time. Like, one of these things do not belong.
What's Cocomelon?
You don't want to know. It's a kid's show. Let's just put it like this. I still have kids that are young. Oh God. I do this when my son makes a mistake. I just start rubbing my face really hard.
I must have missed it. My daughter's 11 now, so we probably missed that.
God, you missed it. That's all I gotta say. It's Sesame Street, but
we grew up with Caillou, that bastard.
That should be a match: Caillou versus Cocomelon or Teletubbies. The one thing I will say is this: from my time covering WWE professionally, in when I used to work at Univision, and WrestleMania went to Miami for 27. When Rock and Hogan, when Rock and faced each other for the first time, you had that Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Triple H. Shawn Michaels was the special guest referee. You had that 6-second match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan when the Yes Revolution started blowing up. I was there for the whole thing. I got to tell you, the Hall of Fame ceremony was phenomenal as well when Edge got inducted. And I can tell you, it was an incredible event. What they're doing now with the Hall of Fame is not only a punch to the groin with this stupid match thing that they're doing, this is by far Triple H showing us that he still takes LSD before he does a match. Because I don't know what kind of balls he's tripping on to say,
well,
hey,
hold on.
Great, let's put a match in there. Like,
hold on. And it's not Triple H. This ain't Triple H. It is the UFC.
Terry Manuel.
They're the company. They can put in what they want, and they do this in UFC. So they think it's a good idea to put it in to wrestling, which to me is stupid. Well, I'm not going to say stupid. I think it's a waste of spot for people who deserves to be in. Because if that's the case, you can pick all the different Stone Colds and Undertakers or
but to be fair, this match in particular was the turning point for the company in the Monday Night Wars, in my opinion. That changed the dynamic of a lot of things after that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you with that. The problem is when we start adding matches, we forget people. They're already filling with well, the main thing is we don't know how they decide who's going to get in this. None of us do. So is it because of what they contribute to wrestling? Is it because of people they know? Is it they're trying to do a quota on certain events? None of us know. But there are people who definitely deserve the flowers. And I think if you are more looking at wrestling matches, it takes away from the people who have not been there. Because like we already know, Stone Cold and Brett have rings. They're in there. Brett 2-time, he's going to be the first 3-timer. So if his matches, hell, Brett could go 5, 6, 7, or 8.
Can I just say something very real quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike knows where I'm going with this. Okay. You know that GIF or that meme of that guy who looks like he's about to drink Clorox bleach, or he's about to jump off the balcony and he's like, and he's doing all this different stuff like he's about to commit suicide? That's exactly what's happening right here with this stupid match idea that WWE is doing. This is by far, I literally feel like I am on drugs right now. I don't understand the complexity of the stupid that is coming out, and they're deciding to do this crap. This is just, it is. Oh God, I'm sorry.
I think this is coming from higher up, because if you look at the two guys in that match, Brett is one guy they would never have ever put back into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Okay. Even up until last week, he's talking shit about them. Right. I hear about. Trust me, man. He lives 12 hours away from me, so we see a lot of Brett up here, right? And you know, Bret Hart is someone. If Triple H was making this decision, I guarantee it would not be this match. This is coming from higher up.
So in other words, is this our bathroom break match of the night for the Hall of Fame ceremony? I'm just curious.
I think.
Well, I was going to say, the thing is, it's not that, and I don't want to downplay the match because the match is. I know.
Kevin Owens versus Joe Monroe. That's all I'm saying, man.
I understand that. I understand that, and I agree with you. I just think that they should put it. If you're going to do matches, do it a separate time, because you're taking away from people who, like. Let me tell you this person I missed when I was going through my list. Lance Russell. He was a commentator in the old Memphis territory.
Yeah.
When you thought of Jerry Lawler, you thought of Lance Russell. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep,
he's passed now. And now he's just like Gordon Soley.
He should be in there too.
That's my thing. There's too many people who gave to this industry that needs more.
Honestly, they need a physical Hall of Fame. They need a physical Hall of Fame to make this actually mean something. And as I'm getting older now, I'm realizing, what's this virtual Hall of Fame shit? Like, right? You watch like on A&E, they have that show where they go look for the lost treasures, and they got warehouses full of shit. I mean, you take all that stuff, you built the Performance Center. Why not build another building beside it? You got all our money. You got all our money. I agree. I mean, the money that they make off of WrestleMania, they can build that with cash. Put everything in there. Make it something. Like, I think that's the one thing about the Hall of Fame that a lot of us, as we're getting older, are starting to realize. Is it really a Hall of Fame? Right? Because a lot of the names that we've talked about here, I almost feel that we need to create an international, like a real, just like an independent wrestling Hall of Fame where all these guys go in properly.
I think it's funny. I'm sorry.
No.
It is funny that you say that, and we at Society Network are doing a Hall of Fame for the people who don't get the love and the credit they deserve for what they've did for the business. And again, everybody can have their opinion, and that's fine. But there are a lot of people who don't get talked about enough. One of my favorite wrestlers, I know Joe Monroe is one of his favorite wrestlers.
Kevin Owens?
Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
Yeah.
He does not get the love and the support and to let people know what he did for the industry. That's why we are doing this, because we feel there's so many people who don't get it that we want to give them their flowers.
Billy Jack Haynes.
I say another thing that I don't like about the Hall of Fame is that they have it right after SmackDown, and they in this right in the arena. Like,
well, this year they got it separate.
It actually used to be. It actually used to be like when I went to go to 27, and I was covering the whole entire event, including Ram, as I like to call it, Raw after Mania. They actually had SmackDown was technically on Thursdays before.
Right. They taped
it. We used to do the SmackDown on Thursday, and then the Hall of Fame ceremony was taped, but it was not on the same night as SmackDown.
No.
So they had it. And then on top of no, hold on, real quickly. Then on top of that, you have the situation now because night one of WrestleMania is a early start time. So NXT Stand and Deliver is going to be starting super early in the morning.
10 a.m.
And NXT wrestlers aren't happy about it. Like there's a shuffle. I think that week of WrestleMania, to be honest with you, to your point, Mike, they should make SmackDown a special night ahead. Then do Stand and Deliver the night that they do NXT show. And then, you have your Hall of Fame on a separate night. And then you could do your roast of WWE and all this other stuff that WWE wants to do.
Yeah. As SmackDown,
I would say have to have the Hall of Fame on Thursday.
Well, it's heavy, man, because you eliminate SmackDown from a WrestleMania weekend, in my opinion, because it's just basically one big promo for Saturday night.
Yes,
exactly.
Thank you.
That's all it is.
And the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
They moved it to SmackDown. You're right.
Jesus Christ, do that. There you go.
Like look at how much we have to consume in this week coming of that week. We got Monday Night Raw. We got NXT on Tuesday. Then whatever they're going to throw at us. I guess Dynamite if we going to watch it on Wednesday. Then you got whatever Thursday. TNA.
There's a reason why. I was going to say, there's a reason why after WrestleMania, I don't do my show for a while because I'm just out of it. Yeah, I'm burned out, man. By the way, I just want to say, if we had a Hall of Fame, I would nominate Professor Bear's glasses and Mike D's hat. That's all I have to say.
Well, again, not to promote myself, but I am going into this is my show too. So
hey, I'm sorry.
I actually am going into a Hall of Fame this year.
Congratulations.
I've been blessed, and I personally would not put myself in it because I don't think I deserve anything for wrestling. If anything, I give to wrestling because it gave to me. But besides that, let me talk about WrestleMania weekend and how much of a money grab it is. Like y'all said, they keep adding stuff, and people and other companies know how much money they make, so they will find a way to get their shows on also. So you got all this different wrestling, and again, especially for guys like us who love wrestling. But we only have so much money. And by the time we want to go here or see this or go here and this, man, we burnt out, we're broke, and then you miss something. And it's like, man, I can't keep up with all of this. I can't do all of this.
I can't disagree with you at all. And I'll tell you why. When I covered WrestleMania 27, in Miami, I was on assignment at the location, which the kid in me was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I get to do this for a living and I'm getting paid for it, which is great. But imagine this: Raw, then SmackDown, then the Hall of Fame, then WrestleMania, which was only one night.
Yep.
WrestleMania press conference the night before, the WrestleMania press conference the day of. Then you had Raw after Mania. Bro, I told my job, I called out the following day, and I'm like, look, you got all the stuff you needed. You got all the sound. You got all the roll. You got all my notes. You have to Saturday. I am off for the rest of the week. It was information overload. It was a lot. It's almost, they're treating this, and no pun intended, as the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're doing. Like they made the press conference where everybody and social media influencers can interview all these athletes on the actual field. They made it a big event.
Yeah. Well, Benny, I mean, the professor and Mike already know about this, but I mean, I'm in Vancouver, right? So I'm really close to where Mania is. So I was excited because I'm thinking, okay, we're going. Once we started adding it all up, man, I tell you what, I could have bought a brand new car by the time I added everything up.
I believe you.
Guess what? But wait, I didn't buy any food yet. I haven't eaten yet, and I haven't bought any T-shirt.
You chose wisely. So you chose between your family or going to WrestleMania, and you chose the right thing.
I basically chose between. My wife's size told me no. And
Well, you know, and it's funny because I was at WrestleMania. I was at WrestleMania 27, and like Benny said, you got this, you got the Hall of Fame, you got SmackDown, and this was when, like you said, WrestleMania was night one, and they didn't have NXT.
Yeah.
So now
they had dark matches, but they didn't have NXT.
Exactly. And it's like, Jesus, man, I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I felt like a crack fiend. Like I don't know what to do.
The only thing I can tell you that kept me going for WrestleMania when I was in the press box was the fact that they gave us the option when I was there to either go ringside where the photographers are because you're not on camera or you're out of sight because you're working for the media, or you could be in the press box. I chose press box because they gave us an unlimited resource of food. And obviously I was much more Pugsley at the time than I am now. I chose the food thing because I'm going to tell you this right now. Before the Triple H match, dude, and somebody call your mama moment that happened at that WrestleMania, I almost knocked out a couple times. I had to get a couple shots of coffee. So I don't know how the fan base that was sitting there. I remember my buddies actually bought tickets. And I don't know if you remember the stage, that WrestleMania stage where they had palm trees.
Yeah.
On top. So my buddies actually sat in the corner where the palm trees are, and they started. If you watch the replay of the show, if you hear a chant, "Move those palm trees," that was my buddies that started it.
Nice.
And I'm just like, it's fun when you're there, but so much time and so much energy is going into the show, and everybody's putting their heart and soul on the line. But there needs to be less. Like that old saying, "Less is more." That needs to happen because you really, as a fan, it's like you go to a theme park and you're like, okay, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go. And you're supposed to really enjoy the time as a family, especially if you're going with your family or with your friends. But in reality, you're going there and you're like, man, I cannot wait to get back to the hotel. I am tired as bleep.
And that's the thing. If you look at this weekend coming up, if we were to go down, we kind of mapped it out, right? Thursday, we'd fly in, you'd have Fan Fest. That's Thursday night. Okay?
Oh my God, I forgot about that too.
Exactly. So you want to go to Fanatics, you got to go check that out if you're there, right?
Yeah.
You got
the
Fanatics
world.
You wake up Friday morning, and then you probably got this indie show going on that you want to see, this indie show that's going to be here. You got that going on. Then Friday night SmackDown. Then you got the Hall of Fame. That's all on Friday. Saturday morning, you have to be up at about 8 o'clock to get to wherever they're going to hold the stand and deliver. That's going to be at 10 a.m., right? This is all Pacific time, right? 10 a.m. You got stand and deliver. Then you got whatever in the afternoon, maybe a little break. You can go and take a swim or something. But then you got night one. Then you got Sunday night. Then you got Monday Night Raw. Then you got Tuesday. By the time you're done, I get you, bro. I get you. It's just too much.
And then you didn't even mention the roast, and they got something else going
Oh
on.
yeah. My favorite of all of them. $25,000 to have lunch with John Cena.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
25 grand a person.
Mike, trust me, I know that you're like 12 years old right now, but as you get older, you'll understand that taking naps is like winning the lotto. So I just want you to know that for future reference, when you get older, you're going to understand exactly what, like, pretty much what I'm basically trying to say is you have to be on some kind of substance to really be able to sink in everything at 100 miles an hour.
And it's crazy.
I mean,
for me,
my apologies.
it's crazy for me. I'm 51 years old. I have back issues. So, and walking, I can walk for a little while, but man, all that different type of event, I'm not going down there wasting money trying to get to one thing. I got to walk here. Then, I got to take my medicine. Oh, we got to eat, but I can't eat this stuff. Oh, we running late to here. You know, it's so much. And again,
and walking up and down that strip, if you guys
Man,
have done
exactly.
it, you know where everything is. It from one end to where this event is going to be held to where that event's going to be held. It's almost a 2.5 hour walk.
I'll put it like this: if you have attention deficit disorder, don't go to this event. That's all I have to say. Because if you're going to go to Vegas, you might get sidetracked and be like, "Oh shit, we already started. Oh, wait, it's over. Never mind, I'm going home."
The one benefit that we have, being Sam and Chance, is that we are also a boxing podcast. So we're justifying it. We're okay. You know what? We're not going to go to Mania, but we got Canelo fighting in November. So we're thinking that makes more sense for us. We're going to go catch Canelo.
Is there a boxing event that's going to be happening that same weekend too?
No, and this is the reason why Mania.
The
reason Mania is not happening on my birthday, which I'm choked about because that's the one highlight that I enjoy about WrestleMania is I get to enjoy it on my birthday. Is because they're having it on Easter weekend, the deadest weekend in Vegas when nothing is going on. They own the town. They own the town. There's nothing competing against them that entire week.
They literally will get all the bag.
They got all of Vegas. It's cheaper.
A couple of indie guys. A couple of indie promotions.
It would be cheaper to go to the F1 race in Vegas right now than it would for WrestleMania.
I was just about to say, get ready for another money grab in a couple months because SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights also.
Yes, sir. And they do, and that's the thing.
I only do a show once a month. Like, dude, what the hell, man? I agree with that comment. That's over my head.
See,
absolutely. Absolutely. Look, here's the reason why.
I make fun of Joe Monroe. I make fun of Joe Monroe looking like Kevin Owens, and he has me on the bottom. So when there's comments on it, he could block my face. It's kind of like Mike Wazowski and Monsters Inc. You can only see the top of his forehead. I'm on to you.
So all of this. Oh wow, he
muted him.
He punked him.
Really?
He punked you. Here it comes. Oh,
Kevin Owens.
No, look, honestly, all of this is because of Ari Emanuel. I can't stress this enough. This isn't Triple H. This isn't the company. This is Ari Emanuel trying to make his money back.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
That's
He's
the
not a
worst
wrestling
thing.
fan. And trust me, isn't this where we should miss Vince McMahon now?
That's scary. That is very scary.
Think about it. McMahon was
but-
out. Okay, granted, he did all that stupid stuff. I'm not condoning it, okay? But McMahon made it possible for the families and the real fans to go to shows. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Joe
Monroe.
You do look Kevin Owens. Shit now.
Benny, go to bed.
Yes, Kevin. Love you, brother, man. I miss you, man. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good to
So
see you,
sorry, I had to work till 9:30. I just got off. What was
All right.
the question for earlier? I'm sorry, Bear. You can kill
Is
me
a hot
later.
dog a sandwich?
Yes, actually, it is.
Top 5 people that should already be in WWE Hall of Fame.
Joe Monroe, Joe Monroe, Joe Monroe, Joe Monroe, and Joe Monroe.
Kevin Owens, Kevin Owens.
I'm kidding. No. Let's see. Is Elizabeth in there by herself?
No.
Miss Elizabeth, hands down. Which, by the way, I got something in the works. Speaking of Miss Elizabeth, I can't say anything right now. But her 100%. I know Brody's technically in there, technically in the legacy. I wish he would have gotten his own. So, let's see. Is Iceman Parsons in there?
Nope. Crazy.
Iceman Parsons.
That is a great shout out.
Mhm. Hang on, is Hacksaw Butch Reed in there?
No.
No, then
Nope.
why not? Who else? I had a list, but I since deleted it because I don't know. I'm an idiot.
No, I wouldn't go and see that, bro. Come on.
Zabisco, if I don't think he's in there.
He's in there. He's in
Yes,
there. He got
yes.
inducted
Oh,
in
Zabisco is in
2014.
there?
Yeah.
He was drunk
They-
for this whole speech.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Probably why it's forgotten.
Bruno
It's-
inducted him.
Who did?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, Bruno Sammartino inducted him.
yeah,
Oh,
now that you mentioned that, I do remember that.
let's see. Damn it! Now I gotta think of another one.
I got Joe Monroe's beard should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying. Look at that. Look at those gorgeous locks, man.
They're
Let's
shiny.
see. I actually trimmed it.
Smooth.
Dare I
Smooth.
say it? I know a lot of people are going to give me a lot of heat for it. Vince McMahon.
Eventually, yeah, he has to be. I mean, the
If
fact
it
that we
wasn't
do
for
what we do
Vince,
is because of him.
Think
Hey.
let me ask a question. Over or under 100 years from now, he'll get inducted.
Under.
Under.
By how much?
I think he's
I
going to
would
be in
say
the
2
next
years.
5 years, man.
Yeah, I would say 5 years after he dies or unalive.
No,
That's
no,
a-
in the next 5 years, he'll be in. He'll be in before that. I guarantee it.
I think he would not be alive when they induct him. too.
No, he'll be, man. Once, I guarantee this stuff's going to go away in this year. And
This ain't
Vince
gonna
is
go away for a
clear.
while.
Huh?
This ain't gonna go away for a while. I honestly think this is gonna be about
Well-
the situation as China.
Here's the thing about it, and I don't like to mix politics with wrestling, but who a certain person he's friends with got his wife a job and has a lot of pull. Yeah, it's gonna go away.
You
No,
talking
hey,
about
that's what I'm saying. This is
you talking about Agent Orange?
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna go away. It just is. I don't want to be that. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. But all this stuff is gonna go away. In a
exactly.
way, half of it's already gone.
Yeah.
Did
And
you
I-
tell-
What the
half
hell,
of
Mike?
it's already gone. Most of it's
By
gone.
the way, we're on this note. I want to see if Joe has the same reaction I did. Did you tell him about what's going to happen at the Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah, they're inducting Bret Hart versus Stone Cold WrestleMania 13 match into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. No, that's the same reaction I had.
Okay. Allow me to rant for a few. Give me about
The floor
15
is
minutes.
yours.
Yes.
All right, here.
Kevin Owens is mad.
So, pardon my language, but why in the fuck would you put a match if you already got both legends, both men, uno dos, in the Hall of Fame individually and Brett as a tag? Can someone please explain to me why would
The official answer is they're not happy with the ticket sales.
Well, no shit. You know how much that thing is?
Exactly. But they don't want to address the actual issue, so they're trying to pad it by giving us something else.
Listen, okay, look. I'm going to do a shameless plug here because Bear's in it. The Hall of Fame I am representing in June. Guess how much I'm selling tickets for?
$20.
$10.
Oh wow, that's even better.
500 seats, $10 a piece.
Wow.
Where's this
Well,
at? I want to go.
But yeah, it's an event that's going to last.
I come and visit you guys, but I'm afraid of your ice people, man.
Man, hey, I don't blame you. I wouldn't let you
Afraid of
come.
what?
Ice.
I said I'd come and visit you guys, but I'm afraid of the
Hey,
ice people.
listen, that's a racist term for Latinos. Don't say that shit, bro. Come on, man.
Hey,
Hey, man,
all I'm- hey,
I'm
and
proud
here's
too.
hey,
I'm
and
Latino. I can say that shit.
hey, the thing is too, if any of us try to help, we all gang members. We all gone. So,
And you know the worst part is, I grew up 10 minutes away from the border.
oh damn.
Literally, when we skipped school, we would just go to Bellingham and hang out. Like, I mean, literally, they crossing the border for us when we were younger. Everybody knew each other. We knew who all the guards were there. They knew who we were. We didn't need a passport. We just show them our driver's license to go across.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
There you go.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes,
Look,
yes.
look, and Bear's got a smile on his face about Hulk Hogan. You know he loves him.
Oh, God.
So,
But
go ahead, Joe.
but back to my rant. What are we going to induct next? Hogan versus Andre Mania 3?
Yep,
Possibly.
probably next year.
Mhm.
But isn't this replacing the Ultimate Warriors Award? The Warrior
I think
Warrior?
so. It has
Yeah.
to be.
Because there's no
Yeah,
one going
whatever
in.
happened to that? Like,
They stopped it
They
because
stopped doing that.
they got rid of his wife and they knew if they kept going, she would sue him.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys a question real quick because I want to know, because I know Joe's got a rant and I want to hear what he has to say. But are they making this like they're inducting matches, or they're actually going to have people wrestling in these matches?
No, they're just inducting the match,
They're
man.
inducting
Oh,
matches.
okay. I thought it was a cluster part of my clusterfuck. Old people actually going and wrestling. I'm like,
No. They're inducting the match. I think what was what like I'm trying to think of one of the UFC ones. The Guido against whoever it was, right? Clay Guido, where the two guys just sat there and just hammering each other in the center of the ring in the UFC.
Yeah.
The same kind of
if there's a
principle.
match that should be, if you don't mind me saying this, if there is a match that should be inducted, if we're going to put one, and I know that a lot of people don't talk about this match, the first ever TLC match that they had on SmackDown.
Yep.
But of course, they're not going to say that because guess who's on it? Chris Benoit. So
Right.
No.
Well, and
Well, you know
here's
what,
the
for me, if you're going to induct a match, you have to induct Hell in the Cell, Shawn, Triple H, and Taker, hands down. And for me personally, that
it was the best match on the card, by the way.
100%. Thank you, sir.
well,
To this
I'm
day,
saying that, and I was there. It was the best match on the card.
well,
to
here's
this
the thing.
day, that should be used as a reference and it's a tool for people to teach wrestling. Because that match had everything.
Well, here's the thing for me. We already have a hard enough time adopting people. Now we're going to go through matches, and we're 5 different people, and we'll have 5 different matches that we think should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, think about it. As much as we hate it, we're all talking about it.
Exactly. I mean, but for me, I look at it like this. 2 things with the Hall of Fame. One, it'd be better to know what is the
criteria.
Thank you. The criteria is for putting a wrestler in. And 2, stick to wrestlers or managers or people. Matches are, I think you take so much away and you already given to a person who's already been given to. Stone Cold or Brett don't need this. And like anything else, we can argue back and forth about it. But I personally think that WWE needs to do 2 things. One, build a effing Hall of Fame so people could go see. You're gonna make money off of that. I think all 5 of us can agree. If they built one, we would try to go see it.
100%.
Two, make even if you don't tell us what the criteria is, give us one where fans can vote for. Because
have we ever been given any criteria for why any of these guys are in the Hall of Fame?
No.
That's
why I'm saying give a fan vote, because all of us have our moments. Certain things are special for a certain reason. Give us 5 people. Say, hey, these are these legends. Which one you think should go in? Let us vote somebody in.
Yeah, but even when they have done that, the votes have been fake. Taboo Tuesday. Who really voted for any of that shit?
Well, funny enough, they did the first one they did.
Yeah.
That's why Benjamin won the Intercontinental Championship.
And they said, no, we're not doing that again.
I voted for that. Leave me alone. Don't hold me against it.
Exactly. But again, being wrestling fans, we all gonna have our opinions and we're gonna go into these rants. But what I enjoy about it, it brings thought and ideals, because we all sit here and tell you what we think and who. A lot of us won't know certain people, and it'll get, hopefully you fans who are watching, it will give y'all some, hey, let me look up this person. Hey, let me see this match. Bird is so adamant about this person. Let me see why. Hey, let me go see what these guys are talking about. It gives back to wrestling. It gives back to the wrestlers. And that's why I love doing these. I love having opinions. I love having you all on to help me. My Till 5 guys couldn't make it. That's why you see the 2 boxes empty. Still got love. Y'all still got open invitation.
I thought you just put the Canadian against all the US guys.
Hey, I'm Team Canada.
I love you guys.
Look, I think that
we were just talking shit earlier.
You know what? I wasn't going to say this, but F it. I think we all Team Canada at this point. But anyway,
I'll be the Eric Young of Canada.
All right,
I got extra room for all my brothers, man. You're all welcome home.
All right. So we're about to wrap this up, but we're gonna go through everybody, and I want you to give your shout outs, read you and everything. So Sat, go ahead and use my first brother. Go ahead and do that, sir.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bobby Sampson. I am a part of Samp and Chance. We do wrestling and boxing. This week, unfortunately, we haven't released anything yet. I've been really, really ill, under the weather. Today's the first day that I feel great again. I'm almost thinking I might just take this week off. It's my birthday weekend coming up as well. So
happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. God bless. Thank you all.
Happy 21st, man.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like I'm 21, but it's a beautiful thing. But we do boxing as well. We cover it all. So if you guys want your fix of wrestling and you want to fix of boxing and you want a different take on all of it, come and check us out at Samp and Chance. You'll find us everywhere. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Mike D. And thank you, Brother Joe.
No problem.
I always enjoy these things, man. This is the best. And I'm the luckiest one of all 3 of you. It's still light out here for me, so I can go.
All right, Mike D. Go on and give your shout outs, brother.
Just want to give a shout out to all the podcasters out there. Just want to say support wrestling podcasters, support independent wrestling. Make sure you check out Wrestling from 313 on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and hopefully at the end of this show, I'm at the 4,500 subscriber mark. So
love it.
Come on.
Thank you. So doing that and working on the storefront too. So so hopefully I had that up and running probably this weekend or early next week. So just tune in.
Yo, Mike, tell them about the new shirt you just dropped.
Oh yeah, so one of the shirts, two of the shirts, is going to be support independent wrestling, and the other one is going to be support wrestling podcasters. And I got another idea that I'm a shirt that I just thought of for the ladies, and that's going to be support women's wrestling. So,
Well, they're gonna make some ladies' underwears. With the 313 on them.
I was thinking the same thing too for a second, bro. Support women's wrestling. It's an underwear bra.
Hey, so just
313 right on the backside.
Just got to reach out to everybody.
Sorry, my
Yes,
bad.
sir.
I'd love to get all your guys' addresses. I want to send you guys a Samp and Chance t-shirt. To just.
Yeah. Hey, just after we log off, hang on YouTube, Mike, because I know how you like to dip. So hang in there, bro. All right.
Okay.
Benny, I'm gonna have to say this. The second time he's on the show, and he's been behaving well. Give him a hand clap for that, because I didn't think my boy could do it.
No, you called my ass out. I ain't clapping for him.
All right, Benny, go and do your thing.
I'm not gonna get too emotional here. It's been a pretty rough week. That's why I've kind of been radio silent, and I want to thank everybody that's been on my social media, people that have been on here, that have reached out to me and asked me and check on me. So appreciate you guys that are up here that have hit me up, and everybody else. I'll go into more depth later on social media. That's not the time or the place for this, but I will say we will be back running our show. I apologize we didn't run one last week. That's kind of what was going on. I had a personal death in the family and things like that. So, but we will be back with Wrestlorama. We got our big show coming up. We got Kevin Owens over there is going to be joining us. We got Mike D's hat that's going to be joining us. Professor Bear and that big ass cranium is going to be joining us. Samson, you're more than welcome to join us too.
I hope so, brother, man. I want to be. I would love to. Thank you.
Yeah, man. We're gonna be chopping it up. We don't. You guys already know this. For those that don't know, we don't take ourselves too seriously. As you could hear in my stupid voice, we like to joke around a lot. We're gonna be doing a lot of fun stuff on there. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna let you guys know. We're also have a contest that we'll be announcing the winner the week of WrestleMania. First place will receive a collector's edition of the latest copy of WWE 2K25. Second place winner will receive a $50 gift card courtesy of Amazon, and third place winner will receive merchandise from our store. So we will be announcing winners. Those that have been regulars on the show are not qualified. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Samson, you're still part of it. But everybody else, we will. Our deadline, I think, is by this Friday. So we'll be announcing the winner live on the show. So, yeah, check it out, man. And, of course, myself and Bear got something coming up our sleeves a little bit later on as soon as he tells me when the hell he's going to be over here in North Carolina.
Shout out Jeff the Rock for joining us. And we love you too, brother.
Like the Crypt Keeper. Don't mention him. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to my co-host, Jeff the Rock, as well.
And, of course, to my man, Joe Morgan. Go on and let everybody know your stuff, sir.
Well, I took a little bit of a break this week, but we got a lot of things worked out. Fridays, of course, is the roundtable. That's WSN exclusive. I'm going to start having some YouTube exclusive content back again. And I got some interesting things in the work. I know we got the Hall of Fame coming up in June 21st. Our main man Bear is going to be inducted, which is going to be great. There's going to be a lot of people who are excited for it. We're going to push for that. Start going to more independent shows to push for that as well. And I got something in the works about Miss Elizabeth that I'm hoping I get to do next week.
Hey, Joe, can you do me a favor when you induct Professor Bear? Can you just play Hulk Hogan's theme song when he gets introduced, please? That would mean the world to me.
Benny, okay, I'll tell you what, Benny. I will give you a free ticket for you and your family to come down to the show. How about that?
So I'm assuming there's a chance?
There may be a chance.
Okay, there you go.
There may be a chance. But anyways, that's where you can find me. And also, go check out WSN. What's wrong with you if you haven't?
So
All right, guys, I want to leave you with this thought. Skeletor once said, "If you're in doubt, rub one out."
This is why we love wrestling so much. I will say this for Benny. I don't mind coming out to a real American because I am a real American versus that. I'm not going to say it, but.
Why don't you come out to Team America, though, man?
Huh?
I think you should come out to Team America.
Hey, I could.
America, fuck yeah.
I could come out to a lot, but it wouldn't bother me because we all know Terry is not a real American. He's a sellout. And I hope one day somebody just catches this in his camp and show him, and then he talks back to me because I would love to have a one-on-one with him. So I could roast the shit out of him.
Why don't we all get together and go to his beach shop and fuck him up there?
Yeah.
Nah,
Isn't he opening up a shop near you, Bear?
No, because his buddy had me overseas somewhere. No, thank you.
All right, guys, I gotta run. I gotta get out of here. But
Alrighty.
thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
T-shirts.
And guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying. And we're gonna have more different things and having more fun with wrestling. Thank you. Hey, check out Facebook page. You know, remember, as Joe said, what in the hell are you doing? Enjoy. We talk about wrestling, promote wrestling to the smallest to the biggest. And once again, thank you for letting me be getting off my thoughts of Bear's thoughts. This is Professor Bear, and we see you next time.
Good night, Canada.